When you're building a Flutter app, how you handle navigation is one of those things that can absolutely make or break your entire architecture. It really boils down to a choice between the classic built-in navigator and the much more powerful GoRouter. So in the next few minutes, we're going to break down exactly which one you should be using and why. Okay, let's think about it like this. Imagine your app's navigation is its GPS system. Are you just planning a simple trip around the block, or are you mapping out a huge, complex, cross-country adventure? The system you choose for that journey is absolutely critical. So here's our game plan. First, we'll talk about why this choice even matters so much. Then, we'll get to know both tools, put them head-to-head, and then wrap it all up with a super simple guide to help you pick the right one for your project. All right, let's dive right in with the big question. Why is picking a navigation strategy such a big deal in a real-world Flutter app? See, it's so much more than just hopping from one screen to the next. Things like complex user flows, handling deep links from notifications. This is the stuff that makes up a real user experience. Your navigation system is the blueprint for all of it. And if you get that blueprint wrong, your whole app structure can become this tangled, unmaintainable mess.
So, let's start with the tool that every single Flutter developer knows, the classic built-in navigator. For pretty much all of us, this is where the journey begins.
The best way to think about this is like you're giving someone turn-by-turn directions over the phone, Go to the home screen, then push the settings screen on top. It's direct, it's simple, and honestly, it works perfectly for those straightforward trips inside your app. And this right here visualizes that core idea perfectly. It literally works like a stack of cards. You push a new screen onto the top of the stack to show it, and then you just pop it off to go back. It's beautiful in its simplicity. And that simplicity is its biggest pro. For small apps, for quick prototypes, or if you're just learning the ropes, Navigator is fantastic. There's zero extra setup. It's built right in, so you can get moving immediately. But, and there's always a but, right? That beautiful simplicity starts to crack when things get complicated. What if you need to handle a tricky login flow? Or what if you need to open a specific screen from a deep link? This is where Navigator really starts to face a scaling challenge. And that's the perfect lead-in to the modern solution, GoRouter. It was actually created by the Flutter teams specifically to solve these kinds of scaling problems. So if Navigator is you giving directions over the phone, GoRouter is like a full-blown GPS. You define all your possible routes in one place, like pre-planned destinations on a map, and you can easily share those locations with things like deep links. Now the key word here is declarative. Instead of telling the app how to get somewhere, like push this, then push that, you just declare where you want to go. You just say, take me to /home or go to /profile/123. This whole system is built on top of Flutter's more advanced Navigator 2.0 API, which was designed to give us exactly this kind of powerful, state-based control. And this is where GoRouter just shines. It brings a sense of order and scalability to your app. Because you define all your routes in one central spot, your app's entire structure becomes incredibly clear. And suddenly, those really complex features, like deep linking or redirecting a user based on whether they're logged in, become so much easier to manage. Okay, so we've met the players. Now, let's put them head-to-head. This side-by-side comparison is really going to make the differences pop. This table lays it all out, and it really starts with that very first row, the approach. Navigator is imperative. You give it step-by-step commands. GoRouter is declarative. You define the entire map of your app up front. And honestly, that one difference is the reason for everything else on this table. It's why GoRouter is so good at complex things like deep linking and web support, making it the clear winner for big production-level apps. So this all leads to the big question, right? Which one should you use? Well, this next part is a super simple decision guide to help you pick the right tool for the job without overthinking it. Okay, let's start with the first scenario. Are you building something small, maybe a quick prototype, or hey, maybe you're just getting your feet wet with Flutter? My advice? Just use Navigator. Seriously, don't overcomplicate it. If your app has simple, linear flows and you're not worried about deep links or web support, stick with the basics. Navigator is built in for a reason. It gets the job done, and it does it well for these cases. Okay, but what if you're building a real-deal production-level app? Something that needs to handle users logging in and out, or you want people to open a specific page from a notification? This is where you absolutely want to reach for GoRouter. Think of the little bit of extra setup as an investment.
It pays off big time down the road because it keeps your navigation logic clean and centralized. It lets your app's architecture grow strong instead of becoming a tangled mess.
And for our last question, this one's a biggie, especially if you're targeting multiple platforms, including the browser. Yeah, if you're building for the web, GoRouter is pretty much non-negotiable. And here's why. Web users expect URLs to work. They expect to be able to refresh the page or copy a link and send it to a friend and land on the exact same screen. GoRouter's URL-based system handles all of that beautifully, making it the default choice for sure. All right, let's bring this all home with the one big idea I really want you to walk away with from all of this. Remember, choosing your navigation isn't just about picking a package. It is a fundamental architectural decision. It's going to impact how easy or how difficult your app is to build and maintain for years to come. So, now the only question left is, what are you going to build?